Hello and a very warm welcome to Game On, your one-stop destination for all things sports. I'm Meha Bharadwaj-Alter and we are getting to the business end of the T20 World Cup in the USA and the Caribbean. We have all the latest from the tournament. We also have the results from the Euro 2024, so keep watching. Now, if it's India versus Australia, the stakes are always high, though more so for Australia tonight. After a shock defeat to Afghanistan, Australia are on a sticky wicket, and if they lose this game, they will have to depend on Bangladesh to help them, who will play Afghanistan in their next game. Though there is a big chance of rain spoiling the match in St Lucia, with the weather agencies predicting rain throughout the day. Let's set this game up for you. India will have on their minds their last two outings against Australia in ICC tournaments as they take them on in their last Group A Super 8 clash in St Lucia later today. The Rohit Sharma-led Indians were twice denied ICC titles by the Kangaroos, who won the finals of the World Test Championship and the World Cup against India last year. Now, India have an opportunity to derail Australia's T20 World Cup campaign. India have won their Group A Super 8 matches against Afghanistan and Bangladesh. A third straight win for them will seal their place in the semi-finals as the top team from the group. An Indian win tonight will also substantially lessen Australia's chances of progressing through to the semi-finals after Afghanistan shocked the Aussies in St Vincent on Saturday night. Australia will now have to rely on the outcome of the match between Afghanistan and Bangladesh on Monday night. India would like to see Australia make an early exit. Both Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma have been far from consistent at the top of the innings. India's most seasoned batters have not struck in tandem to capitalize on the power play. Number 3, Rishabh Pant has been getting dismissed off reverse hit often, and it's something he'd like to correct. The Indian wicketkeeper batter has otherwise been impressive with the bat and with his glove work behind the stumps. The biggest positive for India in this tournament has been the all-round effort of Hardik Pandya, who's now come to the party with a bat to complement his incisive spells. Kuldeep Yadav took little time to come up with match-winning contributions, and he'd be relied upon for wickets in the middle overs. Arshdeep Singh and Jasprit Bumrah have been delivering consistently in the pace department, with 12 and 10 wickets respectively from 5 games so far. With each of their 3 Super 8 games separated by just one day, involving travel between 2 venues, India have not been able to train extensively. They also skipped the training session ahead of the Australia game, considering that hectic travel schedule. Australia, gunning for a treble of ICC world titles, have plenty to worry about going into the game. Their batting in the loss against Afghanistan has been below par. Skipper Mitchell Marsh's form is another worrying factor. He's logged only 88 runs in 6 games so far at a strike rate of 111. The skipper would be aiming to lead by example against India. Seasoned pro Glenn Maxwell, he has been conceding 8.58 runs per over with his off-spin. It'll be interesting to see how Kohli fares against leg spinner Adam Zampa, who's at the better of the Indian superstar on multiple occasions. Australia played the extra spinner in Ashton Agar instead of Mitchell Starc against Afghanistan, but that could change against India. It'll only be the second day game at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium. The matches under floodlights have produced high scores, but in the previous game at the same venue, England were not able to chase 164 in a day game against South Africa. It has been the best batting strip of the competition, but with sun beating down on the pitch through the day, it can work to aid the slower bowlers. Jos Buttler's England became the first team to qualify for the semi-finals of the ongoing T20 World Cup in the West Indies after smashing USA by 10 wickets in Barbados. The defending champions entered their final match of the Super 8 round, reading a big win to give them the best chance of reaching the semi-finals, because a 7-run loss to South Africa on Friday had left England on 2 points. Set a target of 116 after Buttler won the toss and opted to bowl. England finished the job in just 9.5 overs, with the skipper scoring an unbeaten 83 off 38 deliveries. The low target was achieved thanks to a very fine effort in the field, with the 2-time World Cup winner Adil Rashid the man of the match for his 2 for 13 in 4 overs. Backed by 2 wickets to Sam Curran and 1 each to Liam Livingstone and Reece Topley. Before, the headline act came from Chris Jordan, who took 4 wickets in 5 balls in the final over of the USA innings. including a hat-trick, which is a first for England in men's T20 internationals. Jordan claimed figures of 4 for 10 as USA were bowled out for 115 inside 20 overs, taking the wickets of former New Zealand all-rounder Corey Anderson for 29 of 28 balls before making history with a hat-trick. 2 balls later, Jordan bowled Mohammad Ali Khan for a duck, then trapped Noshthush Kenjige for a golden duck, and then ended the innings by taking out Saurabh Netravalkar's middle stump for the hat-trick. Then it was over to Butler, who dominated a 117-run opening stand with Phil Salt, who made 25 of 21 deliveries. The opener hit 6 fours and 7 sixes to hasten England's victory, which put them into the final 4. This is what Butler said after the win. He said, and I quote, "Topping the group and net run rate was in my mind. Adil and Livingston in tandem caused pressure and created wickets. Credit to Livy for being ready and taking it on. I think we've got great options for our team. We chose Jordan because we wanted all-round capabilities, and he executed that fantastically. A World Cup hat-trick is a great effort. It was important to look after my own game as well. I'm still 1 of 11 and I have to go do my job," and that's exactly what Jos Buttler did. Now, a few hours later, South Africa joined England in the semi-finals after eliminating co-hosts West Indies in a thrilling match at North Sound. Set a rain-revised target of 123 runs from 17 overs. South Africa edged home by 3 wickets to make their first T20 World Cup semi-final in 10 years. Having kept West Indies to 135 for 8 in their 20 overs, South Africa lost their openers in the second over of the chase, bowled by Andre Russell. Upon resumption, South Africa looked in control before late wickets set up a tense finish, with Marco Jansen steering them home with 3 wickets to spare. Having been put into bat by Aiden Markram, West Indies suffered 2 early blows as Shea Hope and Nicholas Pooran departed in the first 2 overs, but Roston Chase and Kyle Mayers put on 84 for the 3rd wicket. On a tricky surface, the pair had done well to repair the innings, but just when it looked like West Indies could end up with 160, Myers fell to Tabriz Shamshi for 35, followed quickly by Captain Rovman Powell and Sherfane Rutherford. Now, Chase reached his 50 but fell soon after, trying to launch Shamsi for 6, giving the wrist spinner his 3rd wicket as West Indies slipped to 97 for 6. Shamsi's figures of 3 for 27 eventually won him the Player of the Match award and was the pivotal passage of play as South Africa wrested the momentum back from the home team. Andre Russell slogged a couple of sixes before he was excellently run out by Anrik Nokia from short 3rd man, after which West Indies finished with 135 for 8. Russell then claimed the wickets of Reza Hendricks and Quinton de Kock in the second over before rain intervened, setting South Africa a reduced target of 123 from 17 overs. The loss of Markram for 18 left South Africa at 77 for 3 in the 8th over, but then came a 22-run over in which Heinrich Klaasen took on the left-arm spinner Gudakesh Mothi. Azari Joseph had Klaasen caught behind for 22, which was followed by chases off spin, accounting for David Miller, Tristan Stubbs and Keshav Maharaj during a spell of 3 for 12 that set up South Africa needing 5 runs from the last over. Marco Jansen then, he held his nerve to strike the first ball for 6 and send his team through to the semi-finals on top of their Super 8 group. All right, on to Euro 2024. Germany survived a scare to finish top of Group A at the Euros as Niklas Füllkrug's stoppage time goal rescued a 1-all draw against Switzerland on Sunday. Dan Ndoye's first half goal in Frankfurt had put Switzerland on course to climb above host Germany into top spot, but Füllkrug's late header ensured Julian Nagelsmann's side advanced to the last 16 in pole position with 7 points. The Germans, who last won the Euros in 1996, will take on Group C runners-up, currently stated to be Denmark in the last 16. Denmark, 2 points behind leaders England. They will play Serbia in their last group game on Tuesday. Füllkrug's trademark towering header in the second minute of stoppage time is creating a serious selection headache for the German coach Nagelsmann in the process. Listen into what he had to say.
They tried to get some ball-winning moments for counterattacks in this phase of the game. So at the end, we We tried to fix some players in their defense row to have more space on the wing, to get some earlier crosses, like David did brilliant in the situation, and was a brilliant finishing moment of Fülle. So we need every player on the bench. Every player could be very, very important for us in every situation. So we're happy with the players who start into the game, and also the players who come from the bench and decide the game or shoot the equalizer.
Ja, sie standen sehr gut, haben früh gepresst, haben aggressiv gespielt und es war, auch wenn wir ungern darüber sprechen.
They were well placed, pushed early, played aggressively, and even if we don't like to talk about it, it wasn't so easy to play on the pitch. And so it was perhaps a bit easier for the Swiss to press us because the ball didn't move so easily. And at the same time, it might have been a little easier for us if we'd hit the ball deep. We somehow did that better in the second half, and then we also had a few more spaces.
Ja, es war wichtig, das Spiel, fand ich. Es war wichtig, dass wir...
Yes, it was an important match. It was important that we finished top of the group. And yes, I think that many people played their part, and fortunately, it ended positively.
Und vor allen Dingen, was das Gute daran ist...
The good thing about it is that this belief that we can score goals right up to the last second will now be internalized. And if we need that again, we'll all have it in the back of our minds.
Thousands of Germany fans went from disappointment to relief on Sunday at Berlin. Fans were, watching it outside on big screens. And after striker Niklas Füllkrug scored a dramatic stoppage time equalizer, that their faces, disappointed faces, changed from disappointment to absolute joy. They were wearing costumes, they were cheering for their team, and from those unhappy faces shaking their heads, they saw a goal being disallowed, Switzerland scoring in the first half, but then look at this joy on their faces. Füllkrug's header took them back to celebration and dances. On to the other game from the night. Hungary snatched a 100th minute winner on Sunday to beat Scotland 1-0 and put themselves in contention for a last 16 spot at the European Championship, while condemning the Scots to yet another failure at a major tournament. Kevin Chobot's breakaway goal with almost the last kick of the match ensured Hungary finished third in Group A with 3 points, while Scotland, yet to reach the knockout phase of either the Euros or World Cup, end in last place on 2 points. Hungary must wait to see whether they will qualify for the last 16 in one of the places reserved for the best 4 third-place finishers. Their progress now rests on results from other groups going their way over the next 3 days. There was a scary incident in the 69th minute of the match when Hungarian player Barnabas Varga, he collapsed on the pitch after he collided with the Scottish goalkeeper Angus Gunn. The referee immediately stopped the game, with medical staff being rushed onto the pitch by Hungary's players. After being put in the recovery position by his teammates, a screen was erected around Varga while he received treatment. Hungary's players also rushed to hurry up the stretcher bearers as they walked onto the pitch with Varga clearly in distress. The incident left Hungary's squad understandably upset, with captain Szoboszlai pictured in tears. And at the moment, I can confirm that he is well, but he has suffered a concussion and he has to undergo surgery for multiple bone fractures in his face.
What I heard by the players is that Barney in that moment looked like not cautious, so everybody was really worried about his conditions. and also worried about the fact that the doctors arrive a bit on late, we can say, but of course, probably they didn't realize that it was a dangerous situation. But fortunately now, we can say that Barney is not under any kind of risks. Probably he will be operated in the following hours because he suffered a fracture here, but he's healthy. So the most important thing is that he's healthy. Of course, and for sure, if we will go through the competition, he will not be anymore part of the team.
Yes, it's unfortunate that he not be part of the competition, but the good news is that he's okay and that he will undergo a surgery. But, you know, it could have gotten worse, and thankfully it didn't. Let's also take a look at some of the fans and their reactions after that brilliant win by Hungary.
What can we say?
Gutted, eh? Absolutely gutted. That's the worst way you can possibly finish a game, is by showing the 98th minute or whatever it was. Gutted.
We'll be back.
We'll be back though.
Better and stronger.
We'll be back in the World Cup. Mark my words, baby. Back in the World Cup. Mark my words.
Usual Scotland, to be honest. Typical. How do I feel about that? It's time to go home. It's time to go home.
Az, hogy megérdemelten győztünk. Hajrá Magyarország!
Now, England were the favourites going into this tournament, but since then, after the two games that they've played, not too many of their fans are sure of this team. And England captain Harry Kane, he acknowledged that his performance so far at Euro 2024 has not been up to his own high standards, but he insisted that he is fit amid speculation that he may be having back problems. England sit at the top of Group C ahead of their Tuesday's game against Slovenia, and Kane said a good win is important to send them into the knockout round with a bit of momentum. Kane scored in England's 1-1 draw with Denmark on Thursday, but has not looked in top form in either of their matches, leading to criticism from pundits and fans.
Yeah, I think me as a player, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I know when major tournament football's on, it's going to be even heightened, and you know every performance is going to be scrutinised. And yeah, if I'm honest with myself, have I played the best that I know I can? No, but you know I didn't score in the group stage in the World Cup. I didn't score in the group stage in the Euros. So from my point of view, it's a bonus to be one goal ahead. But yeah, you know, I'd always judge myself first, and of course I know I can play better, as I know, you know, a lot of the players think the same in the team, that we can all play a little bit better. And yeah, and that's what I do, you know, I don't panic, I don't get, like, you know, too high or too low. I'll keep doing what I do, and yeah, just go on to the next one.
Let's also get you a result from Copa America. Christian Pulisic and Folarin Balogun scored first half goals to lead the US to a dominant 2-0 victory over Bolivia in their Group C opener at the Copa America on Sunday. The hosts were quick out of the blocks and opened the scoring in the 3rd minute as captain Pulisic struck an unstoppable curling shot into the top corner. Pulisic then turned provider in the 44th when he picked up the ball near the halfway line and drove at Bolivia's defense before setting up Balogun, who slotted into the bottom corner. It was exactly the kind of momentum the 11th ranked team craved as they look to make an impact in South America's most important national team tournament after reaching knockout stages at the most recent World Cup. The United States next play the 43rd ranked Panama on Thursday in Atlanta before facing 14th ranked Uruguay in their final group stage match on July 1st in Kansas City.
were offensive and they attacked, and it was great and it was amazing, and they brought the points to our house. Let's go. God, it was the best. It was exciting. Yes.
Both teams make a good effort. USA improves a lot. They make a good match. Bolivia not enough. Maybe the next match Bolivia will improve, but it's against Uruguay, so it's a hard match.
I just thought that both teams did a great job of holding their own. U.S. had the home court advantage, of course, so that was a challenge for Bolivia coming in. But they played really hard, and even though they gave up 2 goals, I thought they did a great job in the second half of not giving in any more to the United States.
I mean, for a while now, Bolivia has always been struggling with trying to play well compared to other South American teams. But I think for us now, a lot of our older players, like Arce or Marcelo Martins, who are older experienced, who are better players, kind of left. So I think now it's time to trust the next generation.
Well, that's it then on Game On. Hope you enjoyed it. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.
The confidence is certainly back in the market.
Do tighten your seat belt so that you can withstand volatility.
I have one humble request to all the viewers of News 9 is that please don't go, there will be a lot of choppiness, there will be a lot of volatility. Look at long term, don't look at short term. Buy quality, don't buy quantity, and wish you all the very best.
हमारा टाइम आ गया है और रहेगा.